So I wanted to start this by showing you this accordion file. I got it on Amazon and I have this entire glue project in there, including my glue sticks, so you could put your scissors in there. That first compartment were pages that I changed my mind and decided not to use, but it's all in there nice and neat. So, hi. I had such a good response from my random glue book, what I called my background book for a long time, that I was making a new one and I said, you know what? Why don't I just turn the camera on? So that's what I did. I turned the camera on. I made like an hour and a half of video and then I cut it. I sped it up and cut it way down. So I left everything in there. I left the cutting, I left the gluing. I didn't really edit a whole lot out except for when I was getting up and down. My glue is getting really frustrating, but yeah, so if you're new to my channel, because I've had quite a few new subscribers lately, I would like to welcome you to my mess. I like to make a mess, and I like to play with things, and I like to glue stuff to other stuff. I've kind of been toying with the idea of calling these books my Gloobie Doobies. Just because Gloobie Doobie, it's fun to say. Just like my junk tilde, that's fun to say. So I had a harder time with this one, getting images to fit. I had to cut a lot of it out on each, picture, on most of them anyway. Some of them, like this one, I didn't. And yes, I'm aware that I got that cool fish girl on the other side, but don't worry, I have like 5 of her, so I could sacrifice her for this really cool window thingy with the floor pillows. So anyway, I'm finding that I'm having to cut a lot off of pages, and you're going to kind of see that because I cut a little and then I go back and see if it fits, and then I cut a little more, and I try to cut as little as possible, or the most unimportant part of the picture. And there have been some tough ones, I'll tell you. There have been some tough ones. This is my needle tip glue bottle, and I like it. It's fine. But if your glue gets a little bit thick, you need some serious muscle to get it out of there. And so I'm having to use like some serious hand muscles to work that out. it's like a real struggle. But, I just left all the little glue parts in. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's 4 times sped up. So if you can't handle like literally 2 seconds of me putting glue onto a paper, then go home. Just go home. Okay? But I'm really enjoying this process. Like I said in the Flip Through Friday video that I did, I used that specific book as like a form of therapy to kind of just put my head in a different space. And I think right now I kind of need my head in a different space once in a while because we have a shitty situation going on with our neighbors, and it's really starting to get aggravating. Not like they're doing anything other than hiring a lawyer because we hurt their feelings, but it's not like they're taunting us or anything. It's just the situation of tension with neighbors. Plus, my kids go back to school in a week and a half, and my youngest starts school for the first time. So I don't know what to expect from that, and I don't know really how to handle it emotionally. It's kind of daunting. Not because obviously I'm going to miss her and stuff, but I completely understand the progression of life and that she's growing up and that we have to move on and start open new doors and start new phases in our life. I'm just nervous for her to start because it's going to be an adjustment for her, and I hope that she can handle it because I don't know what to expect with this one. I knew what to expect with my oldest. I didn't worry at all about my oldest. I knew she was going to be just fine. One problem I had with these was lining up the pages so that they were on straight. Like, I cannot tell you how many crooked pages I have. And yes, I cut that barn, and I really like the back of that, and I'm kind of mad now. But then I'm like, you know what? Like, barns are good. So we're going to barn it. And then I got lots of other leafy pictures to use. I have leafy pictures already in here. But see, a lot of them I had to pull back up and stick back down. And I'm using both glues. The glue stick works good for the thin pages, and the liquid glue works good for the thicker pages, obviously. That's usually how it goes. So if you're a new glue, keep that in mind. You wanna keep a solid liquid glue on hand for thicker pages, or if you're gluing a cover piece to something. But the junky, thin, crappy magazine pages are just fine for a glue stick. And this glue stick, and then sometimes, like if the glue stick doesn't hold that well, I just go in with the liquid glue and go around the edges or something of that paper, and that doesn't bother me at all. I know some people it really bothers to have to go back and glue down corners and stuff, but I really don't care. I find it kind of therapeutic to fix that problem. Like, that's a problem that I can solve in my life. And again, it comes down to the therapeutic aspects of the gluing and how it really I'm in complete control. I'm in complete control of this situation, and whatever I do or I cut or I put is completely my decision. Nobody else is involved. There's no one else making decisions. It's just me. And I think that's one of the aspects that I like, is that no matter what the stresses are around me, or what is going on in my life, or how busy I am, or what I have to dread, or what I have to look forward to, this is always a constant. Images are beautiful. Images look beautiful together, and I have complete control over what I glue and how I glue it into a book or onto something or whatever I do. And that is like what sums up glue booking to me. That's what it is. It's control. I'm not a control freak. I don't try and control everybody, but I do like having control over some things in my life, and this I can have control over. When things are out of my control and I'm dealing with other circuses that are not mine, not my circus, not my monkeys. Well, when I am dealing with other monkeys that are not part of my circus, I'm perfectly okay with accepting the fact that I can't control it. But then I have this that I can control. If you take a shot every time I've said control in the last 3 minutes, you would be so drunk by now. Just saying. Because I've said that word a lot. But I'm just really getting into this process, and that accordion thing works out awesome because I have it sitting next to me at my kitchen table, so that this was over coffee this morning. So actually right now the light is from the window next to me. I end up having to change that because my husband's all like, "Oh, the sun's right in my face." See, right here, I had to change it. So now I had to turn the artificial light on because he's a girl. So, but yeah, the accordion thing is working out really nice because I got it all contained. I don't have big piles of stuff everywhere. I took out a lot of pages from my Snapware box. One of them I have three sections, and it's a large box. It's like 9 by 12. And one section is for textures, which is like what you're seeing there, those lavender fields. It's a texture, it's a pattern. Then I have another section that's all just large, I call them just full page pretties, because that's what they are. They're pretties from full pages. The lipstick there to the left, that's also part of the texture. So the full page pretties, that's all it is. Just full pages of pretty images that I just can't harvest and I can't get rid of. Then I have the other section that we did I think it was last year we went through my pictures, where I decided I was going to create a section for funky images. So I've got a funky image section. And I put some of my funky images in my accordion file to use in this book. Whether I use them all, I don't know. Because there's already a section in that accordion folder of things that I've changed my mind on since I started. Most of them because the page is too big for for this book, and I can't really cut it down at all, and I can't make it work. So I just put it aside. I said I'll just figure out a new place for this. I love this black and white hot air balloon. it's kind of like a black and white slash sepia colored looking thing. So I just love it, and I'm so happy that I found this picture to use because the colors are just, they're just great. And now I have these images in this book so that I can go back and look at them whenever I want, and then add little, pictures around it as I go. So yeah, that's exciting. And like, I don't know if this came out of a Our State magazine, which is the North Carolina magazine. This one here comes out of Real Simple, and I used to love the Real Simple magazines, but they really got a lot of ads in them. Like, not cool ads either. They're really annoying ads. So I stopped getting it for that reason, and because I really don't need to get any more magazines. But anyway, the Our State magazines really have some cool pictures, and they have some great black and white pictures about North Carolina history. So if you're looking for magazines that have a different style, then I have a whole bunch of the Our State magazines from like 2010 to 2020, and they're $1 a piece plus shipping. So get a hold of me. I also still have a huge pile of the magazines that I was showing off at my last live sale, and I'm thinking about doing like a mass harvest of those magazines. Maybe I'll film it and maybe selling big packages of big pictures and small pictures, and some of them fussy cut and some of them not, and just going through and kind of getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and maybe challenging you to do something and post some pictures or take a video of what you do with those images, huh? What do you think? That picture there is from a Victoria magazine. Victoria magazine's way like out of my budget. I subscribed to it for a year for a fundraiser for my daughter's Girl Scouts, and that was it. But it did have some great images, so I did get some cool stuff from it. And I might have a couple, like, I don't throw away all of the magazines. I might have a few of those that I didn't harvest yet, so maybe we'll harvest those together too. And I'm perfectly aware that those were Christmas balls on there, but they're totally cool. Can't even lie. I don't even care if it's Christmas balls. They're really cool. Oh, there's a little wooden, the page on the left there is a little wooden birdhouse that came out of a Birds and Blooms magazine. And I think that one of the things I like about those magazines is how they show such normal looking backyards with normal looking plants and birds, and they make the average things look really beautiful. That one there also came from a Victoria magazine, and that is not average, but it is still beautiful. And I got it stuck to that other page, so then I had to get the baby wipes out so that I could wipe that picture off, or else it would have created a mess when I shut the book. Look at all those wrinkles in that page. You could see with the glare. Holy crap a moly. So yeah, this here I think came from the Birds and Blooms magazine too. Again, the snowy images hold a special place in my heart. So long as it's images from a magazine and not images from outside my car window when I'm driving through icy roads or walking through slushy sidewalks or any of that other snowy garbage that comes with winter that I totally don't miss. But it's pretty to look at. It is pretty to look at. And that's why I love winter where I am now, because I literally look outside my window after it snows and it's all pretty, and then a day later it's gone. I stay home for a day, the snow melts, and it's gone. I think a few years back it snowed and then it didn't warm up. It stayed cold for 3 or 4 days. The entire area was shut down for a week. I'm not kidding. My daughter was out of school for like 7 or 8 days. So, almost 2 weeks of school she was out because it snowed and the snow didn't melt right away. So that was fun. Obviously, I love anything that includes a ton of flowers. And those pink flowers are just delightful, and they will look so awesome with some weird looking critter on top of them later, or maybe a car. I like to or a boat. I might put a boat on top of those flowers. That would be fun. And I didn't trim all my edges, but I trimmed most of them. So yeah, keep an eye out for some mass harvest videos. And maybe my next video will be decorating the cover on this bad boy, because I've got a couple pictures in mind to use. I just don't know if I took them out or not, so I might have to hunt them down. But we'll figure something out. So thanks for staying from a fast glue video. Ta-ta for now.